Okay, so this is Doom. This is the new version of Doom, and so I wanted to give some thoughts and impressions on it. I like it. There are things that I enjoy and things that I do not enjoy. That sounds like the most obvious thing in the world to say, but it sort of isn't. I think that people want reaction to this to be really visceral, like either I love it or I hate it. And the fact of the matter is that this is a fun game to play, but it doesn't quite capture exactly what Doom is. And that's something that varies from person to person, but if you ask me and say, hey, what is Doom really about? At least on sort of a mechanical level. Well, for me, a big thing about Doom is speed. And while the speed in this is definitely above the sort of movement speed that you have in most modern shooters, it's not quite to a level that feels like Doom. And that's a really hard thing to quantify, so let me put it into like a random numbers sense, and these numbers are completely arbitrary, but I hope they express the point. Imagine Doom is a 10 on the movement scale. So this game is something close to maybe an 8, where a Call of Duty is like a 5 and a Halo is like a 4. So most modern shooters don't move as fast. This moves faster than most franchises, and so that's good, but it doesn't quite hit that sweet spot that I would enjoy. What you're seeing right now is a demon rune. So they spawn on the map, and you can collect them and turn into this giant demon, which is really, really cool. You are able to go around the map and completely just dominate people. You one-shot them pretty much consistently unless they have a lot of heavy armor or shields and health, and it's a really powerful and really exciting experience. There's two problems I have with it. One is that it's almost too powerful. If you get this, particularly if you're doing the control point mode, which I'll post a video of a little bit later on today, if you do that, you are able to really control the point in a way that you aren't able to do if you have even just raw teamwork or good weapons. So, in a certain sense, it feels a little cheap, and that sort of bothers me. And also, I don't think the level architecture really accounts for the demon as much as it probably could. So, you're going to see when I'm moving around, I'm going to be double jumping a lot. And there's a lot of verticality to the levels, and that's great, at least for a modern game, right? Although I would say that maybe Advanced Warfare probably has done that a little better. But momentum, when I'm moving and doing a double jump, I don't move particularly fast. And on a similar level, when I'm acting as the demon, I have this hover, I have this jetpack hover, and it's not quite enough to really navigate around the space in a way that helps me too much. I can jump and get really high, but there's only few spaces in the map where that really matters. This is the Gauss gun, by the way, the Gauss cannon. It's really powerful, it's a one-shot weapon, and you'll notice that I picked it up on the map. And so a big thing, and I also just wasted a shot there, a big thing of this game that is possibly my biggest disappointment thus far when looking at the new Doom is that you have a weapon loadout that you select, either at the start of the match or in between lives and respawns. And so it's that sort of two weapon, and you can see right there where I missed that jump, and that's sort of an example of how the momentum doesn't really carry as much as I would like this to. If I want the game to move faster, I also want the momentum in air to carry faster. So when it comes to the notion of, oh my goodness, what was I talking about? Oh, that's right, weapon loadouts. That doesn't make a lot of sense to me. It's something that sort of exists in this game because it exists in every other modern game. The sort of 2 weapon at a time minimum that was established back when Halo Combat Evolved came out. It's okay, you can make some really interesting combinations, and the preset combinations are alright, but There's something about Doom that I also think is characteristic to Doom. You can see there I'm also having trouble moving around as the demon. That's what I'm talking about when I say that verticality is nice, but it's not really completely clicking with me yet. One thing I really like about Doom is the fact that there are secrets in the levels, and I like it so much that I have a series on my YouTube channel where I explore Doom levels, or at least I'm going through all of the Episode 1 missions and comparing them to the Episode 1 missions of Chex Quest. Granted, I haven't added a new video to that playlist for a while, but that was partially a recording equipment issue. I wasn't able to capture footage off a PC anymore. I just am able to again, so I'm going to get back into that. But the big thing about maps in Doom is that there's always these little hidden crevices or these secret doors that you can find, and those exist when you're playing just deathmatch in Doom, the original Doom. Here, if there are secrets, they're not very readily apparent, and I haven't encountered any. And the closest thing you have to secrets are sort of these alternate pathways that tend to be very high up. You have to climb a couple things and scramble around. And that's interesting, sort of, but it doesn't capture that same feeling that existed in the original Doom, or even something like Wolfenstein 3D, where there were just like hidden passages everywhere. We'll see how that pans out in the single-player game, particularly with this title, but in multiplayer, I still feel like that there should be some secret nooks and crannies, and maybe some areas where, a hidden teleporter is that brings you to a place where you can get a quad damage modifier or something, and so it really incentivizes you to learn sort of all the different routes around the map. And the game doesn't really have that. So everything is just like in this weird, and here's they call these glory kills. I don't manage to get any during this match, but you can do these really cool melee kills where you like punch a guy's head off or anything. What's my general takeaway from this title? It's very fun to play. It doesn't quite capture what Doom is to me. Still, I'm very excited to play it when it finally comes out, and we'll see how it is then.